Hello friends, and welcome back to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to be putting the other side of our flying geese on. So I hope you are enjoying your day. I am definitely enjoying mine at the moment. We have just had storms come through this morning, and I thought, well, I can't do anything outside. I can't get on the garden, and friends, I'm just starting to sow these flying geese so I can get them done. But we are, I don't know if we're going to get any more rain. We had storms come through about 5:30 this morning, shaking the house and everything else with it. But it seems all is done and good now, but the yard is underwater. We're still under a flash flood warning right now. It don't take much for my yard to go underwater, friends. It just doesn't. But I wanted to get this finished so I could actually get on my room today. So I'm trying to press forward and get all of these flying geese done. And then I need to put them in a row. This is the border for our May Saturday sew along. This is the Woodland quilt out of Simply Half Yards book. This is the book right here. That is the quilt right there. Let me show you the book. Simply Half Yards. Yes, I have it marked because if I actually close that book, I'll never find the pattern again. I'm just bad like that. But I am finishing this. I just got off the phone just a few minutes ago with my son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter. My daughter-in-law told me she's playing so hard she only has one pigtail left in her hair. And she was telling me, she's like, we got robbed this morning at the, I don't know, a trade days or the market or something. They have something close to where they live that has a Saturday trade days or flea market kind of thing. And there was somebody there with a sourdough booth. She's like, we paid $12 for a loaf of sourdough bread. But it ended up being like pepperoni pizza sourdough bread. I'm like, that's why. I mean, plain sourdough, that's a commitment. You know, it's hard to do sourdough. And I was just telling my aunt today, my sister and I went and had lunch today at a place that was delicious. I mean, it's a new place that she and I tried today. It's called Roxy's Southern Bistro is what it's called. It's in downtown, like downtown. And they're doing some revitalizing on our downtown because it had just gotten really bad, run down. And this is one of the old buildings. Used to be a barbecue place in there that was fabulous. And they had to close shop after, you know, the pandemic. They had to shut down. They did their best to stay afloat and stay open, and it just hurt them really bad. But this place is a new place. There was a Cajun restaurant in there before that was not good at all. And this one here, so far, it's delicious. And guys, I just noticed I got a little red cheeks going on. I don't know what's going on with that. It is a little warm right now because of all the humidity, so that could be what it is. I did get a little warm earlier because I've been working kind of in my room here. And I decided I just really wanted to get this quilt done, or the border parts, the flying geese part done, before I, started moving everything out of the room. I told y'all if I didn't move my sewing machine out, I was going to keep sewing. Well, look at what I'm doing. I'm sewing. But I really don't want to put this back in the box not done, because I might forget what I'm trying to do, and we just don't want that. And friends, I am using the laser light to help me guide my fabrics here. I'm hoping this is the game changer that I need, because apparently I couldn't sew on a drone line. So let's try a laser line. And so far, so good. I mean, I just make sure that line stays on that tip that's towards me, that end tip that's towards me. And that's just what I'm using. There is a line, it does get a little light headed back to the machine, but it's okay. Things are working out pretty well so far. And I think, friends, I have 54 rectangles, and I don't think I took the other one out. So I'm hoping I have enough of these, because I don't remember if I cut 54 or 52 of these. But if I end up shy, I will just take them off the others and put them on the ones that need to be on, and then, cut the extra off. Because I've already trimmed all my blocks down. I've cut the extra off of all of them to fold them. Open and to press them. And we are just making quick work of these flying geese. And friends, if you are new here, this is not a tutorial channel. I just want to say that up front. Y'all see here that my machine eats my fabric sometimes, and I have to, work on that. I am a channel of, hey, I'm sewing, come join me and chit chat. And sometimes you may learn something, but from something I do. I'm not going to say I'm completely a fly-by-your-seat kind of pants and don't follow anything that I do. I am still learning. My quilting journey began in 2023 when I found out I was having my first and my second grandbaby. I found out in January or February that I was having a grandbaby, and it might have even been in March. It probably was in March, because I know it wasn't cold when my daughter told me she was having her baby. And the day she found out she was pregnant, she run to my house and told me so. And those two are 3 months apart. My grandbabies are 3 months apart. My youngest daughter wasn't sure she was going to be able to have children. So that's the little munchkin I had Thursday and Friday. And he is a true and complete blessing to have. I know my daughter, poor thing. Her fiance works out of town, so it is almost like she is a single mother. Oh, I just sewed that the wrong direction. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. And my goodness, I sure did. Oh, no. My goodness. See, this is what I'm saying. This is not a tutorial site, friends, but you will see. I have to fix it. I want to make sure. See, I sewed from the wrong corner. This is the pressed one. Well, I sewed this one from here to here. Definitely not right. So we're going to pull out our purple friend. Yes, we are. Get my glasses where I can see up close here. Let me get that to pop open so I can stick my seam ripper up in there and just start a ripping. There we go. Okay, so we're going to let them fall down back there. We're going to clean this up a little bit. Since I already have stitch lines there, I'm going to put those, you know, the direction they need to go. And then put it here. But friends, this is what happens, you know, in my sewing room. We make mistakes and we fix mistakes and we just keep going. We don't stop. And I can just about guarantee you every quilt I've ever made has a mistake on it somewhere. Just about every quilt. Probably every quilt. I'm not going to say just about. Every quilt has a mistake somewhere that has been made. And I've either fixed it or just left it alone. Because not all mistakes need to be fixed. I mean, really. Sometimes it's what is that painter called? A surprise something. I can't remember what it is. We're just letting our creativity run and just leaving it. Because you're going to be the only person that knows there was a mistake probably. Unless it's very visible. But you know, if it doesn't bother you, don't worry about it. Me, I'm one of those, when I make mistakes, they bother me a lot of times. But when I make mistakes, a lot of times they're not small ones. That one there would not have been a small one. It would not have made a flying goose or a flying geese. We're making flying goose right now. But I am wanting to finish getting the flying geese on this one done before I put it away, because I don't want to be putting away, you know, this is technically loose fabrics. I don't want to do that. I want to put them away with the flying geese done. So when I sit back down with it and I start assembling the flying geese, they're already done and I don't have to worry about cutting, trimming, pressing, because once I get this side put on, I am going to cut the excess fabric off. And once I cut the excess fabric off, I'm going to press it, and then I am going to trim down to size. I do have a flying geese ruler, but I don't think it's the size my ruler is, but there's still a way. I do not know why my feed dogs want to pull that fabric down under the machine. I bumped my light. But for some reason, my feed dogs, they catch that. And people tell me do leaders and enders. I can't do that. I've tried. It don't work for me. It's still, I have a fabric right here and it still eats my fabric in the feed dogs sometimes. I don't know if I push it up next to my needle and the fabric turns down. That's probably what is happening, because I can't see very well under my needle here. We're just going to try to do better and get these done. See, I still have a pretty good stack here of flying geese. Now, if I can't get the last two done, that's fine. The last two don't need to be done. I should only have 52, and I cut 54 because I was cutting on folded fabric, and I had 4 layers on the last one when I cut it. And friends, right now, my machine is going really slow, and I forgot to cut my stitching a little faster because I was testing out doing the EPP on my machine. And I had it set for real slow. Yeah, I just cut it up. That way we can get this done a little faster. I will be bringing you guys along once I have a whole flower done. I will bring you guys along and let you know what I think about it. Now, I probably am not going to remove the paper from behind it, but that is just because I think it'll be easier to sew all the pieces together if they still have paper in them. But so far, I'm really liking it. It's really easy, and it's going faster than I anticipated. Now, I only have the Tilda fabrics done. So I've cut out a second color. I haven't put any of those on the EPP. So that will be done this week sometime. But I do hope to get at least one of the flowers done. I'm going to do a third color. I'm just not real sure what it's going to be. I'll figure it out after I get these other pieces done. It's probably, I think that one is pink, and then I have one that's got blue in it, and I think the other one is probably going to be a light peachy color maybe, because I did find some fabric in my stash that has a little more. It's not a yard. I don't think it is. But it's more than a fat quarter. So I think there's enough in there to make a couple, you know, rows. When I say rows, I mean like a ring, a total ring. But that's where we're at with the EPP. And I will bring you guys along though when I go to do it. And I'll show you what I have already done, and I'll show you how I've done it. So I think that would probably be the easiest way, because a lot of people I have seen in the comments are saying, I just don't know how you would do that with EPP, you know, since I'm not hand stitching it. I'm glue basting and machine stitching it. But I'm hoping if anyone has joined along with the Woodland quilt, I hope you've enjoyed this. I just like sewing. So even if you don't sew the same thing I'm sewing, that is perfectly fine. I'm just telling y'all what I'm working on. And right now I have quite a few going on. I have 2 block of the months going on. I have 3. If I count Fat Quarter Shop, which I have not started the spooled yet. And I should be getting their box pretty soon. So that means I will have 3 spooled patterns that I need to do. So yeah, I'm behind on my Reflections mystery quilt by 2 pieces. I think clue 8 and 9. Then I have my Diamond Ice that I'm behind. This month's block, I haven't done it yet. Then I have, so let's see, I have Reflections, Diamond Ice, and Spooled. I haven't done any of those. And I have other things that I'm wanting to do too. And one of them is a bag that I am going to be pulling the fabric. I need to look at it. I actually put in my Amazon cart because I talked to Miss Ava to see if she had the zipper, and she told me she was not able to get the zippers. And she told me just look on Amazon, they should have it. So that is what I'm going to do. I even went on my Hobby Lobby and my Michael's shop, and they don't have them in stock either, or in the store. It's just they don't carry them. So that's what I'm trying to do right now, is get zippers. Now I do still need to find fabrics. I had found some and I thought I would use those, and I'm like, nah, those just don't look right. Because this is a bag that I will probably use a lot. Now, I am not going to make the large version like Miss Sharon did. I'm going to be making the small version because the smaller version will be easier for me to carry around. And if I see that I need to do the large version, I will. But I'm going to start off with the small version because even the small version is pretty large. I mean, the large version is like a duffel bag. It's pretty big. But I think I have some fabrics picked out for that. I just have to. And another reason why I'm doing, y'all, I'm sorry, my eye is itching. Another reason that I'm doing these small is because I'm trying to use what I have. And the small calls for like a yard or a half a yard. And the large kit calls for more than that. Well, I didn't want to be buying fabric for this bag. I may have to eventually, but I was thinking, I have some 3-yard fabrics, you know, so it's 3 yards of fabric that I have purchased already. I have it. And I'm like, well, what if I don't make a 3-yard quilt and I just use those 3 yards and make a bag? Because some of them will do great for a bag. I have one that I got at the quilt show 2 years ago. And I really like it. I really like the fabrics, but I never could figure out what to sew with it. And somebody was like, well, just do a 3-yard quilt. Well, yeah, it is 3 yards, and that was the idea of it. But I just don't. I've looked at several 3-yard quilt patterns, and I just don't think the fabrics would go well in a 3-yard. Okay, so it does look like I'm going to have to take 2 of my pieces off here. It looks like I only needed to do 52, and it looks like I cut 52 squares. So that means 2 of them are going to have to be taken off because I sewed 54. So what I have here is 4 pieces. I'm just going to take them off of these 2 here. I guess what I probably need to do is press them flat because they are pressed out. I need to press them flat so they'll lay flat. Okay, so I have them pressed flat now. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did on the other one. Just going to pop a couple stitches there. Going to see if I can get that to let loose. And then slide my seam ripper in there and just push it through. Why is that not wanting to? Oh, I have a string back here that I'm holding on to. So that's 1. And here's our second one. Okay, so 2 pieces of fabric there. That'll probably go into my scrap bin. So let's see how these are going to go. So what I'm doing is I'm just matching that top corner there. I'm going to raise that up and put that bottom one here. It's quite a bit difficult when you only have half a piece of fabric there. But it's already got the stitch line there for you, so it shouldn't be hard, you know. Okay, friends, I have all 52. I just put them fabrics in my scrap bin. They're going to go to somebody. I have all 52 done. What I'm going to do is cut them apart and trim the extra off and then press them. So, friends, I hope you've enjoyed this. This is part 2 of doing the flying geese. So, we now have the second part on. So that is where we're going to stop. I hope you've enjoyed the chit chat. I hope you've had a little time in your sewing room. I hope you've had time to look at patterns, touch fabric, you know, all the fun, creative things, even if you aren't able to sew right at the moment. I hope you've enjoyed watching me sew what I'm sewing. So, friends, give me a thumbs up. If you would like to see more sewing, I'm still doing cooking, but I haven't released anything in a while. We are still trying to make my kitchen where it is, I'm not going to really say accessible, but where it's easier for me to use. Because of my back issues that I'm having, it's not very user-friendly right now. But we are going to be doing that. We have other adventures going on. We have other crafty things that are going to be starting up pretty soon. So, friends, click that subscribe button if you'd like to see any of that. Also, feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.